back to Dhamma Woods. For those watching at home, we are going to be going over. I figured since we hear all this talk and all of this negative speech and all of this back and forth between and across the political spectrum, and this is about as political as you'll ever see me get. I don't really do politics. And even so, even today, we're not going to talk politics. We're going to talk specifically, we're going to talk about praise and blame. Praise and blame and how we look at them, right? How we are to what we need to do to watch ourselves so that we are not doing the wrong thing and we are doing the right thing. Because we can see anytime you turn on the TV, blah, 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 blame, 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 blah, 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 blame, 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 blame. It's kind of almost comical if it weren't so plain stupid, right? And as the Buddha says, there's a, actually he comes out of the gate swinging on this one. We are looking at the Anguttara Nikaya 5 number 236. Where the Buddha says it's not just stupid, right? So, coming out of the gate, monks possessing 5 qualities, a resident monk, in this case any of us could also apply this to ourselves, a resident monk is deposited in hell as if brought there. What 5? Without investigating and scrutinizing, he speaks praise of one who deserves dispraise. Without investigating and scrutinizing, he speaks dispraise of one who deserves praise. Without investigating and scrutinizing, he believes a matter that merits suspicion. Without investigating and scrutinizing, he is suspicious about a matter that merits belief. He squanders what he has been given out of faith. Possessing these 5 qualities, a resident monk is deposited into hell as if brought there. So he's not messing around on that one at all. He continues, monks possessing 5 qualities, a resident monk is deposited into heaven as if brought there. What 5? Having investigated and scrutinized, he speaks dispraise of one who deserves dispraise. Having investigated and scrutinized, he speaks praise of one who deserves praise. Having investigated and scrutinized, he is suspicious about a matter that merits suspicion. Having investigated and scrutinized, he believes a matter that merits belief. He does not squander what he has been given out of faith. Possessing these 5 qualities, a resident monk is deposited in heaven as if brought there. I think we'll pause on the reading right there. And I wanted to kind of really go over this because we see this all the time, and it's so everywhere that there's just not even a where anymore. It's just an every, to borrow a phrase from billboards. So what we see the Buddha saying, right? And he really comes swinging out of the gate on this one. He really just goes right in and says, monks, you do these 5 things, you're going to hell. Straight up. There's like no, not even a qualification, like you might have a chance not to go to hell. No, that's it. You're deposited there as if brought there, right? Like you toss, we don't do this anymore, but it used to be like banks would have like this little thing, like this little slot where you could deposit your money, right, they had like little envelopes that you would put the money in and you write your account on it and you shove it in the thing. That right there is what these monks are about to be, right? Monks who are doing these 5 things, right? Praising what deserves dispraise, dispraising what deserves praise, being suspicious of a matter that merits their belief, and believing a matter that merits disbelief or suspicion. and of course, naturally, squandering the gifts that have been given you by the lay community. This is not hard to understand. It's really not. The Buddha is saying stuff that should be common sense, right? Obviously, his assignment of it to straight to hell is maybe a little over the top in our modern parlance, but he's making a point there, and it's important that we as Dhamma Woods act based on that, right? We're getting very super clear guidance here. We don't have to sit there and debate whether or not, we should be doing this or that. The Buddha is clear about exactly what we should be saying, right? And so when we're sitting here, blah, 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 blame, 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 have we scrutinized it? Have we investigated it? The answer most of the time, in most of our political spectrum, in most of our social spectrum, nope, we didn't. We took the one that we liked the best and we ran with it and said, that guy's total blah, blah, blah. And the other side does exactly the same thing. They say, that guy's total blah, blah, blah. How about you treat him like a person, right? First off, you treat him like a person, and maybe after investigating and scrutinizing, you change your mind, right? Maybe after investigating and scrutinizing what you should be investigating and scrutinizing, you'll say, that, which I originally thought was a matter that was worthy of praise, really isn't. It's worthy of dispraise, so I'm going to dispraise it, right? Or, maybe that matter that I thought was full of dispraise actually deserves some praise. Let's praise it, right? It's super simple. This is not painful. And yet, so many, Dhamma Woods and so many in our society and so many in our culture just can't grasp the simple basis of that simple basis of doing the right thing, right? Is one side always right? No. Is the other side always right? No. Knowing where to praise and blame is a matter of investigation, is a matter of scrutinizing reality, right? It's a matter of having enough wisdom to look at things and not get caught up in them, not get attached to them, not sit there and say, my pet belief is better than your pet belief, right? So when we are doing this, we are failing. And the Buddha is giving us a very clear alternative, right? He's a very clear alternative, right? So he says, having investigated and scrutinized, he speaks dispraise of one who deserves dispraise. Having investigated and scrutinized, he speaks praise of one who deserves praise. Having investigated and scrutinized, he is suspicious about a matter that merits suspicion. Having investigated and scrutinized, he believes a matter that merits belief. Right? And he does not squander what he has been given out of faith. That one is more a nice little piece of tacking on gratitude, right? So you come out of, you look at things and you investigate them and you scrutinize them and you really dig down deep into them, you discuss them, you find what the truth really is, which is probably not what you think it is, probably not what you want it to be, and you go about having compassion for that side, you have that kind of sense of equanimity, right? That it's not about you, it's not about what you want, it's about being honest. It's about when this matter is brought up, it falls apart. It merits dispraise, right? So you dispraise it. This matter that falls apart, it merits suspicion. Yep, okay, be suspicious. Good job. Well done. That's exactly what you need to do, right? And having the ability to investigate those things and scrutinize them is something that you should be grateful for. We have this opportunity, we have this chance to really deep dive and really dig down and say, okay, this is what this side says, this is what this side says. Where's the truth? It's right here in the note. We can have gratitude for the simple fact, and this is what we should not be squandering. We should not be squandering the gratitude that we have or that we should have, for the opportunity to investigate and scrutinize and come to see reality just as it is. We have that rare chance to see reality just as it is. Not as we want it to be, not as this side or that side wants it to be, just as it is. We have the opportunity to take a look at that. If we're not doing so, maybe we deserve to go to hell, right? If we're not doing our due diligence and really weighing in, really taking a good hard look and discussing all of these matters and coming to understand what the reality is, yeah, maybe we deserve the consequences of not investigating. Maybe we deserve the consequences of not scrutinizing. Because we have the chance to do so. We need to take that. As Dhamma Woods, this is something that we need to do, right? We don't come into the political realm and say, oh, my side's totally right, their side's totally wrong. You're not scrutinizing. You're not investigating. What are you doing? You're squandering this precious opportunity, right? So don't squander that opportunity. Do investigate, do scrutinize, do ask those questions. And if something doesn't hold up, toss it, dispraise it, right? Have suspicion about it because it merits suspicion. Dispraise it because it deserves dispraise. Or alternately, if it deserves praise, if it holds up, praise it, right? Praise it where praise is due. Believe where belief is due, right? It's not hard. We need to be doing that though, right? And we, as Dhamma Woods, if we're really being good and honest, it's not just about us, right? So yes, we need to be doing this, but we also need to encourage others to do the same, right? We need to encourage those around us to really take a good hard look. Get out of your silly little echo chamber. Get out of your silly little box of this political commentator, or this political commentator, or this TV channel, or this TV channel. Whatever it is, get out of that box. Encourage those around you to do the same. Get out of that box. Really investigate. Really look good and hard at both sides of the issue. Really scrutinize. And then see reality for what it is. Not what you want it to be, but what it is. Right? Because that's equanimity in a nutshell. Not being attached to one side or the other, to one's own views. Not being attached to this side or that side. Having an equal amount of investigation and scrutiny for both sides, right? As Dhamma Woods, that's what we need to be doing. And we need to encourage others, those around us, to do the same. Because they can't find the truth if they're stuck praising what deserves dispraise and dispraising what deserves praise. Out of compassion, we shouldn't be leaving them to face that consequence. We should be encouraging them to be aware, to investigate, to scrutinize. And in doing so, come to their own conclusions. Come to the conclusions about reality just as it is. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Apparently I'm not as froggy as I thought I was. Either that or I'm just way off in left field. So, Dhamma Woods. Investigate, scrutinize, go forth and actually take a look at things.